guess what? First day of July. Ladies and gentlemen, we're inching closer. SEC Football Media Days, the return of the college football season. You're rocking and rolling right now. Hottest show in these streets, number one form for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to be with you here on a Monday, getting that work week started off for you correctly. Do me a favor right now. You smash the like button right now. Hit that thumbs up button. Smash the like button. Get those like levels up right there. Hit the subscribe button as well. Make sure you're missing absolutely nothing when it comes down to your Crimson Tide football coverage. Get all family members, friends, diehard fans, casual fans, consumers of Tide football to subscribe as well. We bring you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. We stream this to you via YouTube. Happy to be rocking here with you right now. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We got a lot to tap into tonight, Eli, and we want you, the fans, being a part of the show. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. The number right there to call in, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We want to hear from you, but we jumping right now, Eli. Topic number one of the conversation, that being the defensive secondary for Alabama. This is the one position group where you still have people concerned. You still have some doubt. You still have some worry there. I mean, the defensive line, Alabama's got at least 12 guys that can rotate across the board. There are 3 deep at each position. At the inside linebacker spot, Bama's got depth there behind Deontay Austin and Jihad Campbell. At the outside linebacker position, Bama's got experience. Bama's got young talent. Bama's got depth. So in the secondary, that's the one area where you still have some Alabama fans a little bit nervous about, and in particular, the cornerback position. Now, one starting corner, I feel like Eli is going to be Damani Jackson. I think Jackson, the transfer from USC, will be one of 2 starting corners. Jackson at 6'1", 190 pounds, the product of modern day high school, Santa Ana, California. Did a lot of good things in high school as a track athlete, as well as a football player. Made the move to go to USC across 18 games in 2 years. Jackson, 28 tackles, 4 pass breakups. Didn't do a whole lot, but once again, that's not necessarily his fault. You look at Alex Grinch, the D coordinator at USC. Was he the best DC for the job? That's debatable. I, in particular, don't think he was. But now here's Jackson that will get better coaching at the University of Alabama under one coach, Maurice Linguist, the co-defensive coordinator and cornerbacks coach. Jackson had a very good spring with the Crimson Tide. And here's a guy that he wants the expectation, he wants the pressure, he wants the hard work, he wants the toughness, he wants the vibe in terms of the culture of Alabama football. You get it in, get it out the mud, you get it done. That's what Damani Jackson wants to be a part of. And he talked about that. So having him as a guy with experience, with length, with athleticism, with talent, with ball skills, with coverage skills, I feel like he will be one of the 2 starting corners on the boundary. Now the question is, if Jackson takes one of those 2 spots, who's the other corner? That's the question. Who's the other guy? And Bama's got about 6 guys. They're on screen right here that will be fighting for that other spot. You look at transfer players like Deshaun Jones coming over from Wake Forest, the Atlantic Coast Conference. In 2 seasons, Jones had 60 tackles, had 7 pass breakups, 3 interceptions for his career. All 3 of his picks came last season. You've got Cam Hayward, Cameron Howard, Cam Howard, who came from a small school, University of North Carolina at Charlotte. So he's in the program. So those are your two transfer guys in at corner. But you look at Jaleel Hurley, who is the lone 5-star holdover from the 2023 recruiting class on scholarship. Hurley, young man from Florence, Alabama, and a guy that's got big play potential, got size, got length, got speed, can cover there as a corner. Once again, the lone holdover from that 2023 recruiting class as a scholarship 5-star. And then you got three true freshmen. All three of these guys are 5-stars. You got Jalen Mbakwe, 5-star, incredibly talented athlete, Clay Chalkville High School, took his team last season to a Class 6A state championship. Mbakwe, who played quarterback, wide receiver, defensive back, and return specialist at Clay Chalkville. He's still learning how to be a corner, but the guy's got the talent. He's got the potential to maybe be in that spot. Got a chance there. Fall camp, we'll see what he does. But you got Xavier Mincy, by the way, of Florida, Daytona Beach, Florida. He's 6'3", 180 pounds. That size, height, length, I like that in a corner. I like the size. I like the height. I like that type of length in a corner. But you got to have the speed to put with that, right? You got to have the speed. You got to have the running ability to put with that type of size there at that cornerback position. So going to be interesting, Xavier Mincy, what he does. And then last but not least, Xavier Brown at 6 feet, 180 pounds, the young man from, another California product right there. Xavier Brown, when you look at him and look at the tape, he's kind of got that Patrick Surtain teach tape-like ability. You put there on the field, mirrors receivers, plays the ball well, tackles well, defends receivers well. Xavier Brown's good. So it's going to be very interesting to see which one of these 6 guys emerges out of here with that second corner spot opposite Damani Jackson, should Jackson land that spot. I mean, Deshaun Jones has got experience coming from Wake Forest. He could get that spot. Jaleel Hurley, as the holdover from 2023, could get that spot. But if everything hits the fan, don't be surprised if Xavier Brown, the freshman, comes out of here with it. Don't be shocked if all else fails and Xavier Brown, the freshman from California, comes out of here as that second corner opposite Damani Jackson. It's going to be fun to watch that there. We're going to take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting you started here on a Monday. Upon our return, we're going to go to the phone lines. We're going to grab your calls, your thoughts. We're going to interact with you. Line us up in the phone lines. We want to get to you, the Bama Nation, right after this.
TDA Plus is the all-new Ultimate Alabama Football Package, perfect for any Alabama football fan. Not only do you get subscriber-only articles where you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with Alabama football, you also get our brand new video hub that features many podcasts and shows, including Steven's Report with Stephen M. Smith. With over 15 years of covering Alabama football, you get trusted information as Stephen goes in person to see the team come back and break down to you what he saw live in person. You also get the Way It Is podcast with Stephen M. Smith, where he tells never-heard-before stories and crazy situations that happened during his 15-year tenure of covering Alabama football. You also get Justin and Dex, where they break down recruits like you've never seen it before, with exclusive behind-the-scenes information and exclusive interviews with recruits. You also get Justin's Recruiting Bites with Justin Smith, where you get the best up-close and personal recruiting information and even talks to you while he's on the road going to recruiting events. Alabama fans, you don't want to miss this huge offer for a jam-packed experience for only $7.95 per month. Visit touchdownalabama.com and become a TDA Plus member today.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, here we go. We're locked and loaded. Back into the action from the break. Number one ticket for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA, with you on a Monday. The month of July is here. Today is July 1. SEC Media Days in a couple of weeks. The Omni Hotel, Dallas, Texas. You got a, 16-team super conference now in the SEC. Going to be fun to look at all of these coaches in Dallas, their philosophy, what they have to say, the players they bring with them, all the action going around right there. But phone lines open, 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We want to hear from you. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang. But as you're getting your thoughts ready to call in, we got an awesome call topic here, Eli. And this one goes to, former Alabama wide receiver Devontae Smith, the 2020 Heisman Trophy winner, the first-round pick of a 2021 NFL draft to the Philadelphia Eagles. Devontae Smith had his annual celebrity softball game tournament for the Eagles, and I think Rivals.com was out there covering that, and they were asking Smitty a couple of questions, especially one about the University of Alabama in terms of how does he think they will do even in the post-Nick Saban era. And Smitty, just cool, calm, collective, full of swagger, said, look, man, the Tide is going to still roll. It don't matter who the coach is. The Tide, Bama, is going to still roll. Appreciate that from Smitty. We grab this call right here, though. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, this is Corey from Trussville. How you doing this afternoon?
Doing great, Corey, and yourself?
I'm doing great. I know you'll talk about this later, but I wanted to get your thoughts on if you think this pass rush will be dominant after where we can create some turnovers, because I think that's going to be key in taking pressure off this secondary in the early portion of the season. Because if you remember under Nick Saban in the early part, that's what made this defense scary, was the front seven created a pass rush that created takeaways and the non-offensive touchdowns, and then that's what Alabama's been lacking the past few years, is a pass rush that's been scary in a way. And Freddie Roach has the task of getting the defensive line to do that, and Robert Ball and the linebackers. And I think if the secondary, I feel like if there's no pressure on the secondary with the many transfers, where we can have a great pass rush to help out the secondary.
Well, Corey, absolutely. It's going to be huge here on this Alabama defensive front to provide that pass rush. Now, the good news here is I got a chance to speak with Coach Swift, who is the co-founder of Winning Edge in Alabama offensive line and defensive line training out of Birmingham. And Coach Swift has worked with a lot of these Alabama guys. When you talk about your Anthony Jennings, your Deron Paynes, your Fidarian Mathis, he's worked with a lot of guys. And currently, he's worked with several guys on this year's defensive line. And getting the chance to talk to Swift, he told me, look, these guys are going to be very good this year. These guys are ready to reap a harvest out there on the field. They're ready to do some things. They're ready to show that Alabama does have that real deal defensive line across the board, because it's going to start with those guys up front. They have got to win their one-on-one matchups, affect the quarterback, get him uncomfortable, collapse the pocket. Even if you can't get the sack, knock the ball down. That was something that Dalvin Tomlinson, A'Shawn Robinson, Jaron Reed, those guys were really good at. If they could not knife their way back there and drop the quarterback for a sack, then they affected the passing lane with their long arms, knocked the ball down. So after my conversation with Coach Swift, Corey, he's really excited about the work he's put in with these defensive linemen. He feels like that pass rush is going to be right where it needs to be this season.
Do you think Kalen DeBoer understands that Alabama still has bully ball mentality? I mean, I understand that Alabama wants to throw it around, and I understand that Kalen DeBoer's system is more of throwing it. But Alabama football is a brand of bully ball that we're going to run it right here, and there's nothing you can do about it. Do you think Kalen DeBoer understands the Alabama tradition of bully ball?
I think he does. And another guy that understands it, Corey, is Jamarcus Shepard, the wide receivers coach and co-OC. He was in an interview a few days back, and he talked about it. We would be foolish not to run the ball, especially with the guys we got up front here on the offensive line. When you look at, if I had to project the starting offensive line right now, I would have Proctor left tackle, Booker left guard, Brailsford center, Roberts right guard, Wilkin Formby right tackle. That is a nasty offensive line right there, and a group that very well could win the Joe Moore Award. So Jamarcus Shepard mentioned we would be flat out crazy if we didn't run the football.
Well, you know, Saban always made the statement, make his blank quit. I hope that Kalen DeBoer still instills that in the same way, because that's what Alabama always has been, is have that mentality, because Alabama had that in the past. Saban just increased it tenfold until maybe the last couple of years, maybe we didn't have it. But Saban, Alabama pretty much has had that make the other team quit mentality. And if Kalen DeBoer can still make that happen, it will go a long ways for Alabama, because we know when Alabama's good and we know when Alabama's elite. And when Alabama's elite on both sides of the ball is making the other team quit as far as running the ball down the other team's throat consistently. And then on the other side, just getting a relentless pass rush, creating turnovers. That's when you know Alabama's for real, and I think that can become a reality if that can happen.
Absolutely. Appreciate Corey calling in here on a Monday. I look at this team. Kalen DeBoer is going to have a mixture of things, right? He's going to want to throw the football. He's going to want to get the passing game going, but he's going to run the football as well. You got this offensive line with guys up front that are not just big, but are athletic. They can move. They are physically imposing. They can work their way to the second level in terms of running the football. They can do more than hold their own in terms of pass protection. That's why you saw the likes of Tyler Booker drop weight. Tyler Booker is now 330 pounds. That's where you're seeing guys like Caden Proctor starting to slim up, because he understands, hey, in that pass protection, I got to protect Jalen Milroe while at the same time being athletic enough to work from one level to the next level in terms of getting the run game going. So there's going to be a mixture of what Kalen DeBoer wants to do. But believe you me, Chris Kaplovich, the O-line coach, he is going to want to pound that rock. And Alabama's going to make sure that happens here in the upcoming season. Continue to get your calls in, 205-448-1358 for them to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. But absolutely going back to Devontae Smith, he said it, man, the Tide will continue to roll. The Tide will still roll, even in the post-Nick Saban era. Bama new coach, Kalen DeBoer. Bama new energy in the room with DeBoer and his staff. With Devontae Smith, the two-time college football playoff national champion, 2017 and 2020, still feels in his bones. Alabama continues to roll in college football as the premier program. take a break right here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, a media pundit compared Kalen DeBoer's winning tactics to the greatest golfer of this generation. What in the world is this guy talking about? We'll break it down right after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh yeah, oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
We cooking up in the kitchen. That Bama football pot right there. Got your Crimson Tide football news, notes, and information on a Monday, July 1. Hottest show in the streets right here. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith. Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Got my man Eli Walker in the production studio right here behind the scenes. And folks, continue smashing the like button. Drop that thumbs up right there. Get those like levels going. We appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button as well. Make sure you miss nothing when it comes down to your Bama football. The daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that from all of you. But topic 2 here of discussion, Eli. So a lot of Alabama fans are wondering, what is happening with a certain media pundit? Because normally, when you get the guys with Fox Sports or FS1, they're normally not always all in on the Crimson Tide, but somehow you got a media pundit that's starting to really like Alabama from that Fox Sports neck of the woods there. Now, of course, this guy comes from the Pacific Northwest to come to Alabama, that being one Kalen DeBoer. But the pundit I'm referring to is Joel Klatt of Fox Big Noon. Joel Klatt is now all in on Kalen DeBoer as going to be this major success story where the Crimson Tide is concerned. And he's bullish on Kalen DeBoer may possibly be an upgrade over, Coach Saban. Now, of course, we're not going to make any type of statement like that right now, but this is coming from Joel Klatt. Now, why is Klatt saying this? Well, Klatt, as a media pundit, decided to compare the winning traits of Kalen DeBoer, seeing as how Coach has won everywhere he's been at in terms of building a successful program, whether he did it at Sioux Falls in the NAIA neck of the woods, winning 3 championships there, whether it was him as an offensive mind at programs like Indiana and Fresno State, or whether he took a very, very horrible 4-8 Washington team in 2021 and in 2 years turned them around, made them a college football playoff team, made him a Pac-12 national champion. Well, not Pac-12 champion, but Pac-12 champion, excuse me, but put the Washington in the college football playoff national championship game. And so what Klatt has done, he's compared Kalen DeBoer, the greatest golfer of his generation, arguably the greatest golfer we ever seen in Tiger Woods. Joe Klatt said Kalen DeBoer has a little bit of Tiger Woods in him, in the sense of he's not only technically proficient, but he's also competitively proficient. Tiger Woods wanted to be technically sound, beautiful form in his golf stroke, but he also wanted to be able to beat and dominate everybody on the course in terms of being a winner out there. Tiger won 15 major tournaments in the height of his career. We're talking 5 Masters. He won about 4 PGA tournaments. That's about 9 right there. He won 3 U.S. Open tournaments, and he won 3 at the Open Championship. That's 15 there, Ian. That math. That's 5, 4 is 9, 3 is 12, 3 more is 15. There you go. So Tiger won 15 majors. At the height of his career, nobody was doing it like Tiger. At the height of his career, you know that song, Nobody on the Corner Got Swagger Like Us? Like, at the height of his career, nobody was doing the man like Tiger was doing the man. So here is Joe Klatt saying that Kalen DeBoer has the competitive proficiency, the winning proficiency of a Tiger Woods. This is going to be very intriguing here. And so this promotes the question, can DeBoer dominate off the rip in year 1 at Alabama? I think he can. I really do. I mean, you look at what he's done so far recruiting-wise, right? What he's done so far with this current team. Now, this current team, offensively and defensively, they're solely bought into his philosophy. They're solely bought in on what he wants to do. They're solely bought into this family mindset and framework structure. I think DeBoer can cause some damage year 1, Eli. I think DeBoer can cause some damage in college football year 1. I go back to that week 4 matchup in the fall against Georgia. That 4th game against Georgia. If Alabama can take Georgia to the woodshed, Bama could run the table undefeated. And that's going to be hard to do because, me personally, Eli, I don't see anybody going undefeated with these schedules right here. But if Alabama takes Georgia to the woodshed in the 4th game of its season, that's going to be really huge. Because you think about it, Tennessee's good, but the quarterback, Nico Iamaleava, how ready is he for real? You got to think about that, right? You look at, you play Auburn in the Iron Bowl, and yes, Auburn's tough. Iron Bowl's tough. Hugh Freeze, tough. But that game will be in Tuscaloosa. You look at Oklahoma's intriguing because you play the Sooners on the road in Norman. Your first time traveling there. But do the Sooners really have that quarterback that they need? Because they lost Dylan Gabriel to Oregon via the transfer portal. So this is going to be interesting. And I know people look at teams like Missouri maybe as a potential trap game. It could be. That game's in Tuscaloosa. Kalen DeBoer could do some damage here year 1 in college football. I mean, you got Joel Klatt comparing him to Tiger Woods right now. Right now. Man, I can't wait. The season's got to get here. I'm ready for the season to get here now. We're going to take another break here, folks. Don't touch that dial. Upon our return, we would go back to those phone lines. We're taking your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Line us up in the phone lines, folks. We want to hear from you, the Bama family, right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwil Sports introduces to you the title towel. Wave that title towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Kalen DeBoer and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwilsports.com and get your title towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, Bama Nation, happy Monday, happy July 1st. We're in the month of July now. People, SE Media Days coming. Couple weeks. I think it's Eli, July 15th through 18th or 15th through 19th. It's coming. Live from the Omni Hotel, Dallas, Texas. TDA will be out there getting all the action from the SEC Football Media Days. But gotta show some love to Jason Hayward. Let's go with a $5 donation. Putting the money there in the hat. Appreciate that from Jason, showing love there. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that from all of you. And phone lines open. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. Definitely want to hear from you here on the show. But as you're getting your thoughts prepared to call in, another call topic, Eli, Ryan Williams. I mean, the Bama fan base is giddy about this dude. 5-star freshman, Saraland High School product. The accolades are all over this dude. Kalen DeBoer was in Mobile for the Reese's Senior Bowl celebrity golf event and talked about, look, Williams has fit in perfectly in Tuscaloosa. But transformation, the work he's put in, how he's bonded with teammates, the expectation, he's proven that he's going to be a really great player in Tuscaloosa. Ryan Williams is fitting perfectly here. I mentioned Friday of last week, Eli, this Alabama coaching staff is going to get this guy on the field early. Jamarcus Shepard did not say, get your popcorn ready for nothing. This kid's special. This dude's special right here. Our own Justin Smith, the director of scouting and recruiting for TDA, said this man is a faster Devontae Smith. That's what he said about Ryan Williams, a faster Devontae Smith. And we all know Smitty won the Heisman. Smitty, Alabama's all-time career leader for receptions, receiving yards, touchdowns, right? Smitty, first-round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles in the 2021 draft. We're going to go to a call right here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
What's up, Steven? It's Jason from Tennessee.
Jason, how we doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. Doing good. Looking forward to this upcoming season.
Man, it's the exciting one, man. Kalen DeBoer's got the energy. He's got the electricity rocking through Tuscaloosa. Courtney Morgan, the whole staff, the players, they're ready. They are ready.
Yes, they are. I was going to touch on one topic that y'all were talking about on the Saturday night show about the 4-2-5 defense.
Okay.
You know, I think Marvin said he had a concern, you know, as far as the defensive line.
Yeah.
Being able to stop the run. But I think if they put the right personnel in there, I don't think they'll have any problem. And by the right personnel, I mean Big James Smith.
Jason, that's what I'm saying. If you let James Smith loose, you're not going to have a problem stopping the run. If you let Keon Keeley loose, you're not going to have a problem stopping the run. Especially when you got the two big boys in the middle in Tim Keenan and Jaheim Otis.
Yes, sir. I mean, and no disrespect to the guys that have been, out there, last year, but there was, they were inconsistent at times. Every time I've seen James Smith get on the field, something's happened. That man drives he drives the people back into the quarterback. I mean, just like you said, he's a bully.
When you watch this guy, Jason, at Carver High School in Montgomery, just a nasty, disruptive defensive lineman. Just really disruptive in the backfield every single time. And he can bring that same showstopper ability to this Alabama defensive front. It's just Freddie Roach put the brother out there on the field.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of the younger guys this year because it seems DeBoer is going to handle things differently. But anyway, I don't want to hold you up too long. I don't want to hold you up on here too long. Roll Tide. Stephen, you have a good night.
Appreciate Jason calling in from Tennessee to the show. And DeBoer mentioned this a while back in Mobile, ironically, that it doesn't matter what the classification is or are for these players. He is going to put the best athlete at each position on the field. And whether that athlete is a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, graduate student, doesn't matter what the classification is. He's putting the best guy on the field. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. But getting back to Ryan Williams, how he's fit into this program, I'm excited about this dude. I'm going to say this right now, Eli. I think Ryan Williams and Kobe Prentice will rotate in the slot this year. I think both guys can play at that X position at the top of the formation, executing routes. But I think Bama may very well have Kendrick Law at X, Jeremy Bernard at the bottom, and then you rotate Prentice and Ryan Williams in the slot. I think you rotate those two. You get Ryan Williams one-on-one on a safety? Forget about it. Forget about it. I'm just saying. So, very excited here once fall camp comes to the picture what Williams is going to be able to provide. We take our final break here, folks, from the show, and touch that dial. When we return, we wrap things up with this discussion. Who could be the leader for Alabama as a pass rusher? We'll get into that to wrap things up after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama. And you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, folks, here we go. Back into the action from the break here on a Monday. Getting your work week started off correctly, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Appreciate all of you checking out the show on today. And we get to the final discussion, the Eli conversation. We talked about in the call segment, defensive line and pressure and, can Alabama have those guys that can help force turnovers? Well, that beautifully segues us into who could be the leader on this defensive line in terms of a pass rush? Who can be the leader up front in terms of getting to the quarterback for this year's defense? And you got some worthy candidates. Tim Keenan's a worthy candidate. Tim Smith's a worthy candidate. James Smith's a worthy candidate. Jamarian Latham's a worthy candidate. Keon Keeley's a worthy candidate. I mean, you got guys like Quay Russaw, Keanu Coate, Quandarius Robinson, Yancey Pierre. All of these guys are worthy candidates. For me, in terms of the leader of his pass rush, I'm gonna have to go James Smith. I just feel like you gotta get him on the field. The guy is a bully. The guy is mean. The guy is nasty. The guy is disruptive. There's a reason why Carver High School had so much success with him and Quay Russaw on the field at the same time. There's a reason why. There's a reason why you, as the Alabama football consumer, were overjoyed with glee when both decided to sign their national letter of intent to come to the Crimson Tide. I mean, James Smith at 6'3", 296 pounds, he can wiggle his way through, deck the quarterback. He can also win his one-on-one matchup and stop the run, but for the sake of this conversation, he can wiggle his way through and deck the quarterback. Very good pass rusher. Very keen pass rusher. He's on his P's and Q's out there getting after guys. And I feel like if you're trying to have a defense that gets back to creating those turnovers and having those non-offensive touchdowns, 2015, 2016, and 2017, 2 of those 3 years you won a college football playoff national championship. You gotta put guys on the field that position you for that kind of success. And one of those guys is James Smith. He's gotta be on the field. He positions you to have that type of success where you're getting non-offensive touchdowns, when you're getting turnovers, where you're getting multiple sacks, where you are harassing the opposing team's quarterback, where you are being able to affect the passing lane, and even if you can't get a sack, you're swatting the ball down and affecting the accuracy of the quarterback, right? So to me, I think you got to have James Smith on the field. Yes, Keon Keeley. Yes, Keanu Coate. I like Quay Russaw a lot also, but I think you got to have James Smith as a down lineman, in this defense to have that pass rush the way it needs to be. But anyway, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage here on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. Got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees for now trying to be back on Wednesday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. Don't forget to get you that subscription to touchdownalabama.com. We have you covered. All things recruiting, freshman recruiting, transfer portal recruiting. If your flavor is the current team, the current coaching staff, the current roster, we got you right there with constant updates, constant perspective pieces, keeping you in the loop right there. And if you're feeling the Bama football in the NFL, documenting those guys, we got you as well on that aspect. Also subscribe to TDA Plus, where you got Steven's report, yours truly. When this fall camp gets in, I'm getting back out there, getting you the sights and sounds of Alabama football, reporting on what I saw out there. You're also getting Justin and Dex in terms of recruiting, and then also Justin's recruiting bites, him out there on the road, covering these young athletes like nobody's business. You don't want to miss any of this awesome stuff. Subscribe, touchdownalabama.com. Be the envy of all your friends. You'll have it right there at the palm of your fingertips. You can feel like an insider. You get touchdownalabama.com right there. Guys, show some love to all of you, the Bama fans, for all the phone calls, all the donations here, chatting in the YouTube chat line. We appreciate you guys. Showing some love to my man Eli Walker as well in the production studio. Till next time, folks, husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, too. Not be bored there. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.